Hey Taurus, welcome to your weekly forecast for September 9th through the 15th. We're going to do our little weekly forecast here with two brand new decks I've not yet shared with you on this channel. So as always, deck info will be in the description of the video if you want to check them out. But we're going to go ahead and jump in and see what's coming up with our Taurus friends. Guys, I'm a little sleep deprived, so I may mess up my words. I may trip over my words. We know that happens sometimes with me. Or if I say anything kooky, I'm sorry. I apologize. But I'm trying to get caught up and get these videos posted on the regular schedule again. I know I'm a little behind this week. And if I'm not regular, the views are low. Man, you guys let me know you don't appreciate it. So I'm trying to get this back here for you all on time. So here's your Monday, Tuesday, Virgo. Nope, Taurus. You got like two cards stuck together. There's your Monday, Tuesday. There's your Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, these cards are sticking together. Okay, there's your Wednesday, Thursday. And your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Beautiful. Let's see what's going on with your Monday, Tuesday. And we have Ace of Trees, okay? This is a card that I'm very, very happy to see. You know, we might know this card in traditional tarot decks as the Ace of Pentacles. So those of you who watch my videos, you know that Ace of Pentacles is a special card for me, okay? Ace of Pentacles in the traditional meaning, like here it says abundance, right? And that's the traditional meaning of Ace of Pentacles, or Ace of Trees in this case, is that there's like some new opportunity coming your way. Also keep in mind abundance is many things. Yes, we associate it with finance and money, but abundance is anything good. It's laughter, it's family, it's friendship, it's love, it's spiritual connection, it's all things. Abundance are all things that satisfy us. And so you're coming into abundance, right? And for many of you, it will be by way of, say, like a promotion or an opportunity to apply to a new job or something having to do with your finances. But those of you who know me, and you've heard me talk about this in previous videos, when I see Ace of Pentacles come up in a reading, it's telling me that you're coming out of some really massive block. Like maybe you were blocked or you were stagnant for a long time. You were having a lot of hardships with money, or you just couldn't seem to bring it in or hold on to it, or you just were having some kind of block in your life, whether it be love or whatever, situations with family, a karmic relationship you couldn't seem to get out of, whatever it may have been. Whatever has been blocking you is being lifted, is being moved. And so there's this massive release. And this is not like a Tarot 101 thing. This is just something I've seen in my readings over the years. So for a lot of you, Monday, Tuesday, keep in mind this is a really big shift. You're coming into the week with a really big shift. We've got a full moon happening in Pisces on the 13th, and we're going to pull a full moon card for you to see how that energy may be affecting you all. Well, not a full moon, but a moon card, to see how the moon energy may be affecting you all. But it feels like there's already a release happening for you early on in the week, you know, well before the full moon comes in. So you're having this big release. Keep in mind when we release and we shift energy, you're going to be tired, right? Some of the things can be headaches, sleepiness, runny nose, achiness. Go to the doctor, get checked out, make sure there's nothing like, funky going on medically. But other than that, keep in mind that when you're shifting energy and releasing energy, you need to be gentle with your body. Make sure you're getting lots of water. Make sure you're getting lots of rest, especially if you've got Virgo in your chart, because Virgo had kind of like a similar energy. And it could be something in the overall collective, but for right now, I'm only 2 readings in. I don't know what's going to come up for the other signs just yet. But just know that you may need to be, gentle with yourself, especially in the beginning of the week. And the heart is really jumping out at me in the stars, okay? So stars to me are intuition and guidance. And the heart chakra is telling me that a lot of you were blocked in receiving, in all directions, finances, money, everything. So as your heart chakra opens up, you're going to have some, waterworks at times. You might cry a little bit easy. You might be a little bit more sensitive than usual. It's not going to be that way forever. Don't freak out. Just kind of write it out, but understand and know if you're feeling moody or emotional, it's because for a lot of you, the heart chakra is opening up and clearing. Okay, that happens. The Wednesday, Thursday card is Page of Angels. Okay, so I love the artwork in this deck. It really is truly gorgeous. Page of Angels in this deck, Page of Angels, what's called Page of Angels would be in another deck, Page of Swords, okay? And so this says mysticism, which is interesting because we may not associate Page of Swords with mysticism, but in this deck, this is how the author presents this card. I want to also draw your attention to the butterfly here that's just kind of, right here hovering kind of over the solar plexus, okay? And then there's a little heart over there's a little star over the heart chakra. So again, heart chakra is being emphasized, heart chakra is clearing and opening up. But some of you may be having something happen midweek with the solar plexus. That's a big part of this transformation that you're coming into, or the shift that you're coming into. Our solar plex chakra, it's right above, it's like the third chakra up, and it's really, really responsible for our our identity, like who we are, like our being very stable or secure in who we are. And when I think of Page of Swords, I think of communication, I think of speaking up. For me, Page of Swords has always been the speak your truth card, right? And maybe for some of you, you are becoming connected with your mysticism. And maybe some of you, that is your truth, like your new spiritual connection, your spiritual beliefs. My phone just made a noise, so that could be like spirit emphasizing that or saying, hey, listen up, because that might really resonate for some of you. So some of you might be getting ready to just kind of begin and you know what the funny thing is, Taurus? I'm not getting it in the way or in the vibe it came up for somebody last week. I don't know if it was you guys or a different sign, but there was something about like coming out of the mystic's closet, like maybe like coming out and letting your friends and family know that these are your beliefs and these are the things that you're into. But I don't get it in that vibe in that way. Taurus, I feel like some of you are really feeling guided to speak your spiritual truth by doing something like conveying or delivering a message, whether you're stepping into being a spiritual teacher or a life coach, or if you're creating some kind of manifesto or something in some way where you're trying to inspire people. I feel some of you are really feeling called to lead or guide others through your experiences, through your stories, what you've been through. So maybe you're volunteering, maybe you're doing something like doing motivational speaking, or maybe you're doing some kind of community outreach, or maybe some of you are like filled with fire and you like want to go to church and give a sermon or something. But there's definitely this desire to speak your truth, and it's something connected with your own mysticism, however you might be portraying that, however you might be sharing that with others. But again, I feel a lot of it is you feeling very firm and very clear about who you are, what you've been through, why you're here. A lot of you are having some big awakening in that way in the middle part of the week. And I don't know why, but it's also giving me a sense or a feeling that for many of you, this is the beginning steps towards a career change, where you're just like, you know what, it's time for me to go in a new direction. And I can relate to that. I'm a Taurus moon. I'm not a Taurus sun, but I'm a Taurus moon. I'm a Scorpio sun, Taurus moon, Libra rising, and Virgo Venus. So, I think a lot of you guys are having this change or the shift that's happening. I'm Taurus moon. I'm still going to be doing this stuff that I'm doing, but I definitely am feeling a shift and a call to expand on what I do and to work on bigger projects. So I can tell you, I'm not a Taurus, but I've got Taurus in me. So some of you may definitely be picking up on that as well. There might just be this this push to expand on what you're doing or to make some kind of a shift altogether. But it has to do with you feeling like, hey, this is what I'm supposed to be doing here. This is my contribution to society. This is how I'm helping make the world a better place. So it's something meaningful, right? It's something meaningful. Your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the ego collapse. I think even though this card has been somewhat disguised for us here and changed for us a little bit here, I think you guys can guess which one it is, even if you don't remember the major arcana numbers. Obviously, major arcana card 16 is the Tower. But you know what? I really like the way that this is listed as the ego, like the ego collapse. Because when people see the Tower, they flip out. They get very scared. So I think for some of you, this is more so coming in as a warning. Midweek, you have this feeling that, you know what? It's time for me to make this shift. It's time for me to make this change. And if you don't begin making it, the universe is going to make it for you. Right? That's when the Tower moment comes in, right? Like just things kind of fall apart and then we have no choice but to make the shift or to make the change. But this does not mean that you're going to absolutely have a Tower moment Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think you have to make a decision Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if you don't do what you're being called to do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, then you will have a Tower moment in the future. But again, I like that it's called ego collapse because remember how this to me is confirming the message midweek about how you were coming into this true awakening of who you are, why you're here, what you've been through. And so the way you saw yourself before is completely and totally coming undone. Like everything you thought you knew about yourself or everything you thought you knew you wanted is completely and totally changing. Okay, and it can be a scary thing to go through. It's one of the first stages of spiritual awakening when you kind of start waking up and you're like, wait a minute, I'm not all the things that people have told me I'm my whole life, or I don't believe the things that I've been taught my whole life, and I just have different ideas and my brain works a different way, and you start coming out of that conditioned state. And then you start saying, wait a minute, all the things that I've been working towards that I thought I wanted, maybe I don't want them anymore. And that can be very confusing, but that's the death of the ego, right? We're never going to be absent of ego as long as we're human beings. We're always going to have some form of ego, but the ego that you were, or the lower vibration ego, is coming undone. Okay, and so it's going to be up to you to have the courage to honor that, to accept that, and to move forward in the ways that you're being guided to move forward. If you don't want to have a real, like a real full-on Tower moment in the near future. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here at your spirit message or moon message for the week. We've got the full moon coming up this week, so let's see how that moon energy may be affecting you guys, Taurus. And as always, guys, check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks those are going to resonate with you more than others. And if you want to get info on which cards I used, I always have those in the description of the video. Whoa, look at this, guys. You've got action, okay? It says waxing, what does it say? Waxing gibbous 6. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Very honest with you. I have not studied thoroughly the guidebook, so I don't know what a gibbous 6 is. Somebody out there knows. I know some of you are like pushing up your glasses right now. Well, Amethyst, actually, let me tell you all about the gibbous 6. Please do. Please do. I welcome it because I am not going to try to teach you something I'm not, fluent in. But I'll tell you intuitively the way I'm reading this card or the way that I'm seeing it. All the stars all around, you're definitely receiving guidance at this time, okay? This moon, even though it's waxing, it looks very full. So this is telling me that this is a full moon that you guys are really going to feel. And you're really going to be feeling called to action, to take action. If you don't take the action, what's going to happen if you don't take the action? The Tower moment, okay? So Another thing I'm kind of seeing here is the 15 is jumping out at me, which just really blew my mind, because you guys know how when we reduce the numbers, like we add them together to make them smaller, they had 24, which equals 6. You guys have 15, which equals 6. So there could be something happening in the collective energy. Some of you Taurus may have something going on with a Virgo where there's some kind of soul contract or something karmic happening, or you may be working closely with a Virgo in some way. Just because you guys both have 6 coming up this week, technically 24 and 15, but really it translates to 6. Also, the 15 makes me think of, in tarot, 15 would be the devil, or like that fear card. Again, the ego, the fear. So Taurus, your ego is going to be messing with you this week. And you have to break out of it and take action. You cannot let your ego like ensnare you or enslave you. If you do, you will have a tower moment, and you don't want that to happen. Okay, and pay attention to signs, because the universe is giving you signs. These things are not accidental. You will have things coming up, and the more connected you are with spirit, the more elaborate or the more clear these signs will happen. Right? You will have these things happening, or you will have things like you guys, oh, what kind of signs, Amethyst? Like, how do I know? You may see certain animal totems. You may keep hearing a song in really interesting times in really interesting different places. It might be the same song or the same kind of theme. I'll give you an example. This morning, I left very early to get to my workspace and do what I need to do for the day. And I live in the city. I don't live in the hills. I don't live like in the mountains. And I heard all this ruckus outside with all these dogs in the neighborhood going nuts. And I look outside, and there's a coyote separated from a little, like a mama coyote separated from the baby coyote. And they're like trying to get together. And then this guy pulls up out of nowhere. I don't know who in the world this guy is. I don't recognize him from my neighborhood. But he comes rushing in his car. He parks real, like, hurriedly, and he gets out, and he has a gun. And he starts, like, shooting to scare the coyotes off. So I don't know if they came after his pet. He followed them. He had a gun. I was like, what the heck is going on right now? Like, I have never in my life seen anything like that. And I've been in that neighborhood for like forever, right? So I'm like, okay, this was definitely an interesting start to my day. And I'm like, there's a message here. There's a message here. So you could go on in that instance and you would look up, coyote animal totem. What are the coyotes trying to tell you, right? Then you would meditate on what's happening here, right? But look at that message. Something is happening in that collective message, because the coyote is about going with the flow, that there's changes coming and you need to adapt to the changes and you need to keep going, right? And then the guy coming out with the gun, right? If these coyotes aren't hurrying up and getting the way out of there and going to the next environment or to the next thing, this guy came out shooting. That's a tower moment right there. So Spirit brought that message this morning to me, even before doing these readings, where so far it seems, I have a feeling this is going to be the theme of a lot of the readings this week, that it's time for action, that if you don't take action, there's going to be some kind of tower moment, okay? Or something coming along that's going to push you or force you along. You might be afraid to move forward. Like those coyotes were lost. They didn't know where they were. They didn't know where to go. That baby was looking at Mama like, what do we do? Mama was like, I have no idea where we are right now. And the guy came in shooting and they just took off. So when things happen that the universe is saying it's time to move along, listen to that, right? Thankfully, he didn't shoot them. They were able to just kind of run off. He scared them, right? And sometimes that's how the tower moment is for us. We just kind of get a little bit of a scare. But you can avoid the scare if you just keep moving. All right, my darlings? Be sure to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. You may need a private reading. I'm more than happy to do if you click on the Calendly link. And guys, don't forget, love videos are up, and there's a link in the description for those of you who want more of a love reading or have not checked out the September love readings yet. Those are available. I thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and I'm wishing you a fabulous week ahead, Taurus.